Quarantine 2020, episode 14. Welcome back. Weekend's over. Back to work. The last thing I wanted to do today is do anything more with technology. I had 2 long meetings today, and I can honestly say in 18 years of teaching, I've never been more confused about my direction and what I'm supposed to do. So the best solution for that is to do my podcast. So you're welcome. You get the best of me, the absolute best of me. My topic today, and I've chatted with a few people, and they seem to agree that the podcasts are too long. So I'm going to try and shorten them. I'm going to try and make them between 5 and 8 minutes long. Maybe that'll keep people interested a little bit longer. So topic today is going to be Baron's Soapbox number 2. Baron's Soapbox number 2, and it's going to be about learned helplessness. And I'm going to talk about learned helplessness, not just as a teacher, but as a parent. So those are the 2 main places that our young people are taught learned helplessness. Those are the 2 main places. I'm going to start with teachers. And you can see, if we want to talk about the reasons for why there's learned helplessness, there's a lot of them as a teacher, and a lot of it comes from just the way the job has evolved. And I don't disagree. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that the way the job has evolved. There used to be absolutely no accountability, and teachers really didn't have to answer to anybody. What they did is what they did. And now I guess there's a little bit of accountability, but sometimes it just goes a little bit too far. And I feel we are almost using the parents as a third person to communicate with. Like, at some businesses or some companies, you're not allowed to talk directly to the CEO. If you want to talk to the CEO, you have to contact your boss. Your boss will contact his boss or her boss, and her boss will contact the CEO. That's kind of what has become now. Like, if I want to talk to my student, I have to talk to the parents first. And it's becoming very weird, and I don't think it's the way we should be doing things. And I'm going to give you the spiel I give my students at the beginning of every single school year, every single class, every single semester. At the beginning, I give a little spiel. And I started off by saying, first of all, I want you to understand that I'm not afraid to talk to your parents. I've talked to parents my whole life. I have no problem talking to them. My question is, as a high school teacher, should I be talking to your parents? If they're in grade 10, they are 3 years away from their parents legally not being allowed to intercede on their behalf. So they're 3 years away from that. At what point do we pull away the strings of help and the safety net of the parent and make the kid actually deal with their own stuff? When do we start doing that? Because I don't think we're starting to do that at all. And I think it's time for you to start doing it. Now, if there's a situation where you think you're being mistreated, you've approached your teacher and nothing positive has happened, absolutely. You should go to your parents. Your parents should contact the teacher. But if you think you should get a 42 instead of a 41 out of 50 on a test, maybe you can just run that by your teacher. Maybe you just go up to your teacher and say, hey, look, I think I should have gotten this instead. And your teacher can go over it and look at it with you. So that's where I think we're running into. There's lots of times as a teacher, I'll get an email from a parent about an issue I had no idea was even an issue. The student had not even come to me. And it's just grade 10s are 3 years away, grade 11s are 2 years away, grade 12s are less than a year away from their parents not being allowed to do that. And it's just become more and more of a crutch for the students, and I feel like they're not learning that independence that they have to have in order to function in the world. And the constant need for what do I do next? What's the next thing that I do? And it's very much hand-holding a lot of times, where you have to get permission before you go on to the next step. Well, the next step. Go ahead and do it. And the constant, well, what if I get it wrong? Well, yeah, that's kind of how it works. In one of my previous ones, I talked about failure. We don't learn from success. We learn from failure. So you've got to get in there and you've got to get in there and make an attempt. And if you fail, you fail. So we'll constantly have students come to us and say, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Well, what do I do now? What should I do now? What should I do now? And I repeat the same things over and over again. What do you think you should do now? Do you think it's good based on the information that I've given you? Do you think you've accomplished the outcome and met the outcome of this task? And it creates a lot of frustration with students. It creates a lot of frustration with my own children. So I think that's the way it works in the education system. I think that's just the way the education system is evolved. I think we need to give it a look, because I don't, it's not good. It's not a beneficial thing anymore. And it's not helping our students. We're patronizing them, and we're putting them in a position for when they leave school. All of a sudden now they don't have that. And I mean, a cell phone is a perfect example. We have this belief system that the cell phones are the devil and we need to get rid of them. No, we should be teaching them to self-moderate with their cell phones. Give them the opportunity to show you, and I bet you a strong percentage of them will show us that they can do it. But we don't. We just tell them we are going to control when you can and can't have that. And then they get a job working on a job site where the boss expects them to just know when they can and can't use their cell phone. They've never had that type of freedom before. They use their cell phone whenever they want. They either get fired, they make a mistake, or they hurt somebody because they're doing it when they shouldn't be. So it's something that we need to curb. The second part I want to talk about this as a parent. I know why I do it as a parent. Of course, you have helicopter parents that need to be there for their children all the time. And that's one reason that the students, the children, our young people would become dependent on their parents, is because the parents have always been there. The parents have never let them make a decision for themselves. They've never let them try. They've never let them fail. So that's one reason for sure. The second one, and it's not really laziness. Kids suck at things. They're just not good at it because they've never done it. I've folded the laundry 2,000 times. I don't know how many times. Let's say use that number. And for the record, if I've folded it 2,000 times, Krista has folded it 25,000 times, 250,000 times. So I don't want to get in trouble for that. So I'm saying that that's the way it works. If I folded the laundry 2,000 times, they folded the laundry twice. Of course, they're going to suck at it. So it's going to take them longer. They're going to mess it all up, and we're probably going to have to redo it anyway. So it's more work for us to have them do it. Them making supper. Well, they can make grilled cheese, spaghetti, craft dinner. They can't make more meals. So we just make the meals. We just do it because they're not good at it. And they're not good at it because they're stupid. They're not good at it because they're inexperienced, but we never give them the experience. We just keep doing it for them. We'll do it for them. We'll do it for them. We'll do it for them. It's easier for me to just do it for you because I'm faster and I'm better at it. At what point do we say, you got to do it on your own? And I get it. I'm guilty of it as a parent too. I'm very guilty of it. I can just do this right now myself and it's done. If you do it, there's going to be the hassle of getting you to do it and the hassle of you doing it wrong and the hassle of you doing it so slow that I might as well just do it myself. So I get it. That's why it's happening. That's my soapbox for today. We need to look at the learned helplessness that we are creating in our young people. And I know this because I talk to people who hire our young people after high school. And that's the first thing they say to me. They have no ability to be independent. They are constantly waiting for someone to tell them what the next step is. So if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, please make your kid do something on their own. Stop doing it all for them. Communicate with the student first, especially in high school. Communicate with them first. If the parent needs to be involved, you're the professional. You know when you should involve the parent. But communicate with the student first. And you young people, grow up. It's time. Go talk to your teacher. Go talk to your coach. Go talk to your boss. Go talk to whoever you need to talk to. That's it. Barron's Soapbox number 2, Quarantine 2020. Thank you for joining me. Shorter episode. I hope you like it. Please subscribe. I'd love to get to 24 subscribers so that I can start telling people that I have dozens of followers. Fantastic. I'll see you tomorrow.